I'm trying a whole new thing. I got a sweet new song to sing. Do you like what you see? You're looking at a brand new me. Let's go. Can't wear them no more. Got rid of my old automobile. Yeah, you ought to see my new set of wheels. I'm gonna chase all my dreams, no matter how crazy they seem. Keep a big grin on my face. Make peace with the human race. Round and round and round we go. You can't stop me, no, no, no. I'm trying a whole new thing. I got a sweet new song to sing. Do you like what you see? You're looking at a brand new me. I'm trying a whole new thing. Sweet new song to sing. I sure do like what I see. I'm looking at a brand new me.
All right, that was Cat Beach, whole new thing. And as promised, I got Cat here on the line with us, and you are just like a super duper happy person.
Well, yes, I'm going to go with that. Thank you, Rick. I am always super happy, and I'm never frustrated or upset. And that would be the biggest lie I ever told. So,
well listen. First and foremost, I want to thank. We talked briefly about this off air, but I seriously want to thank you, big time, for taking some time out to hang out with us. Because, as I mentioned off air, you have a lot going on.
I do, and so nobody knows that who's listening in now. There is a lot going on, and I'm thrilled about it. And I'll pause in the moment because there's so much going on for you and for myself and a lot of musicians. And what we don't know is what's going on in Houston and what's going on in Texas. And so I'm going to give a big old shout out to Texas and a whole bunch of love to them, because in Nashville, we went through some horrible floods a number of years ago. So I'm going to big shout out to them, but I won't take it. I won't take it down. Just help where you can, people.
Absolutely. And,
yeah.
I will say this about that. It is, there's a lot of crazy stuff happening lately, and it is. It's unfortunate that it takes a disaster, but I think one thing that is nice to see about this is the way people are helping people, the way neighbor is helping neighbor. You see the campaigns all over the internet for volunteers and helping and all that stuff.
Isn't that wild? How it takes an absolute disaster to bring people together, to not see nationality, not see color, not see anything. It's just simply to help one another. It's unfortunate and fortunate at the same time. So I will say that I'm glad we're all coming together to help people in Texas. And my brother is a first responder, and although he's out of Atlanta, he is in Texas right now. And so if you go to my Facebook page, you'll see a whole lot of links. In about an hour, I've got to put all of those up. There are about 20 of them on how you can help people who are trying to survive the floods. So, but beyond that, okay, I'll go into that. How could I have started so negative?
Well,
I will say I have a lot going on, Rick, that's so great, and I'm thrilled. I've got an incredible band, and we're about to go to Memphis day after tomorrow for the Delta Fest. and that's to open for Blackberry Smoke, who's an incredible Southern rock. Many of you have heard of them, and they're a Southern rock band, and we're thrilled to open for them. And then we're going to head over to Kansas City, so this whole Labor Day weekend for the next day to open. And then we have the Josie Awards coming up. So we're really, really thrilled and really blessed to be part of a lot of indie artists out there sharing their thing.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, you're just at like the tip of the iceberg here. Let's go back a little bit, because when I was reading your bio, the first line is in 2009.
Did I have to say it, Rick? No.
Well, but the thing is that wasn't that long ago, really, in the scheme of things. But in 2009, Cat Beach headed to Los Angeles to record her first album. Something had to lead up to 2009. I mean, when did you decide, yep, you know what? I can freaking sing.
Yeah, let's just out of 2009. No, actually, it was my former life before 2009, but as humor would have it. Actually, this is not humorous. Coming into 2009, I suffered from acute panic disorder. And for some people who are listening right now, whether you're going through some hormonal changes or whether you are suffering from some anxiety disorders, things that keep you awake at night and wake you up really early in the morning and cycle in your brain, I was living through that in 2008. And it shut down my life from the end of 2007, 2008, and 2009, early part. I was unable to perform. My original life was in musical theater and classical drama. So I was up in Boston, and so most of my year was performing. I would perform I was in an a cappella group, and I was in a dance group, and all of my life was performing yearly. And then all of a sudden, panic disorder hit. There's a whole story behind all that, and I won't take all your time on that. But certainly, if anybody wants to know about it, by all means, message me, and it's an open book for me. But that took me down, and to be a performer and not be able to perform because panic attacks hit me so profoundly was really difficult, because what it does to people. And so for anybody who's listening, who has a family member who goes through this, or you're going through it yourself, what it does is it takes away that ability to dream, that ability to think past today and go, oh yeah, I have something I really love and I want to go for. And it brings you to a moment, but not that moment where they talk about in meditation where we're living in the moment. It's a moment of, oh my God, am I going to make it through this moment? And so 2007, 2008 was kind of a crash landing, and I came out of that in 2009. What a blessing to hook up with Ned Albright, who is a songwriter and incredible producer in Los Angeles. And Gardner Knight is the one who introduced me to him. And I just, coming out of it, I thought, I'm going to just give it all I've got. And I sent my demo out to him. And he heard everything in that. So Love Me Out Loud, my original album, came from incredible pain, but also incredible light. Because Ned, I flew out there and he said, Kat, we're going to find a way to get through this. And we're going to make an album out of this that's very simple and very pure. Because here I was, I jumped out there. I'm thinking, let's add everything to it we possibly can. And he said, no. Let's take everything away from it. Let's just have guitar. Let's have drums. Let's have bass, maybe a little percussion, and let's just keep it about the lyrics. And Rick, that was a really amazing moment in my life, because Love Me Out Loud became about learning to love myself out loud and learning to go through the journey just through the lyrics and not having to overproduce anything. So you see that in 2009. That's where all of that came from.
And it's, and I want to point out to everybody listening that you and I, this is new to me. I didn't know this.
I know, but we've known each other for a while.
Right, right. And so this is kind of, I wasn't expecting all that. But from what I've read, as you and I talked about earlier, I was doing some reading, and 2009 seemed to be kind of a rebirth. To hear you talk about all this, I think, and I want to get to it. I want to stay on the music for right now, but in a little bit, there's some other stuff I want to get to, and I can. What you just talked about, I think, would tie into some of the other things you have going on besides just music. It's almost like 2009. I mean, you just went full force with everything.
Yes, I did indeed. Well, fitness was a huge part of it, and so I'm sure you've seen. If anybody goes to, and I know you have, Ricky, if you go to my webpage, fitness was something that helped me rebirth myself. It was a insane challenge, to be part of a moment when I couldn't perform, to be part of a moment where I wanted to perform, and then to get back in front of people. Well, people can be darn judgmental. And regardless of what you're singing and performing, regardless of what the message is behind the music, you and I both know, Rick, that people look at your body. And that's a really hard moment for a lot of performers. And whether they'll all admit it or we'll all admit it or not, that's a really tough place to be. Because it's what's behind all of that. And also, when you're performing, what type of energy do I have to give you as an audience? So that's why you see a lot of the fitness blog, because I really, truly believe in building your body up, not breaking it down. We in America have chosen to be part of a culture of really breaking the human body down. And what do I mean by that? There are a lot of pharmaceuticals and a lot of things that we take and use and do to lose weight, to be as thin as you can, instead of building and becoming a machine, a strong machine to make it through this life. And for me, musically, Get After It, Go to Work, and Win, which are my last three, or I shouldn't say mine, Ned and I wrote them together. The last three singles, they're about building your body. They're about getting after it. They're about going to work. They're about winning. And winning and going to work means you've got to really get after it, meaning you have to get in the gym and work as hard as you can, and put your body to a test. And so that's been a challenge for me, but I'm blessed to do it. So that's why you see that on my, 2009, there was a huge explosion in my life, and I'm blessed for it. And so Music in Motion is coming up this next year, which is a seminar series with a lot of musicians who have gone through changes, and their mentors who have gone through the changes with them. They're going to be on stage talking about what they've gone through. And then the evening's going to be a celebration of change, which is music and a performance. So I'm excited. Yeah, lots going on.
You do. And I was going to get to the fitness stuff a little bit later. Listen, I'm going to fail.
Shame on me. I had to go right to it.
Well, yeah, because I was eating a Twinkie the whole time you were talking about that.
Rick, no!
It's just, I couldn't help it. I got hungry, just the thought of it. And I do want to talk. I mean, I had all kinds of questions about that in a little bit, and I don't want you to go too far into it yet, because you've got some other stuff going on besides that I'm really, really interested in. But I want to go to 2010. All right, you moved from Miami to Nashville, and
yes.
So born and raised in Miami, or Miami just a pit stop?
Surprisingly enough, and I was born in Evanston, Illinois, and raised in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah.
Wow,
which I know Charlottesville has been in the news lately. So, yes. But Charlottesville is not that town, everyone. Charlottesville is not what you've seen in the news. I was raised there since I was 2 years old, so no.
So Miami was just a vacation layover, huh?
Yeah, that was 17 years of a vacation.
Oh, wow, nice. Well, that must have been nice. So you get to Nashville, and how much? How fast did things start going at that point? Once you hit Nashville, I mean, was it kind of slow going, or did things just start spinning out of control?
No, Rick, let's talk honest about Nashville. Nashville's a very specific town. And you can play the game, and you can do a lot of songwriting circles and songwriting nights, which is really great, and incredible talent in this town. But what's interesting about Nashville, and difficult for me to wrap my brain around, because I'm also a businesswoman. I'm an artist and I love it. And when I'm on stage, I'm 100% artist. But when I'm off stage, I have a band that relies on me to make sure that everything goes